tell me if you're with me on this, but like I am so fucking done playing it small. Like I am so done. I am like coming out of the gates so fully on this season of my life. The word is embodiment. And I am just going to continue to go deeper and deeper and deeper into my own portal of self and magic and expression and purpose and mission. And is that too deep for a lot of people? Like, yes, absolutely. Has that cost me like a bunch of followers? Yes, absolutely. Do I care? No, I fucking don't. Because I am just purifying myself and my vessel, which is then purifying my online self and presence, right? And the business. And so you have seen like me just totally walking my talk, like fully rebranding, fully stripping back my entire offer suite and restarting in this new frequency and in this new energy. And let me just tell you, if this is something that you are feeling, if you are feeling out of alignment with your online persona, like your business self or your home self, it is so worth it. It is so fucking worth it to take a step back, maybe burn it all down, like completely melt inside into the cocoon caterpillar goop, and come back stronger and more authentic and more true to yourself than you ever have been. And like the world will wait. Like they will wait for you. Like the true OGs and the people that you're here to lead and your soul tribe and those clients that are your destiny, they will all be waiting there when you come out the other side. But then you will have created so much space to magnetize to you literal crowds of authentic people that you can really help, that you can really make a difference in their life. It is so worth taking the pause, taking the risk, because it is a big risk to do this. But be brave. Like you need to be so brave to go behind the scenes and dissolve all the false identities and masks you've been wearing. And now that I've done that, I just see them on so many, not everyone, but kind of everyone. I just see all of these beautiful women in these leadership roles wearing these masculine masks. And they're not truly embodied in their goddess selves, in their queendom, in that great mother void energy. They're running on an old system of patriarchal masculine source light, which is what we call it. And that system is dissolving because the patriarchy is dissolving. And this toxic masculine push energy of productivity, to-do lists, constantly doing, and like minimizing the importance of being, of just being within, which is not passive, which is not the old divine feminine, which is also outdated now, by the way. The old divine feminine of like, well, I'm just going to manifest through surrender. Like, that's old news too. There's this new paradigm. There's this new grid that you can connect to. And it is the void. It is the great mother. It is like the bowels of creation. I swear to God, that sounds crazy, but it's true. It's like the most powerful thing I've ever connected to in my life. And it is gridding itself into the earth, into the nature kingdom, and into the collective. And women specifically are being called to go first, but eventually it will be everybody. And it's like just the understanding that this is our ancient originations as souls, as humans, as life itself, as consciousness. We all come from this place, the void, right? And even source itself comes from the void. My mentor said something to me today that just totally blew my mind, because I was saying to her, I've realized that in working with the void, it encompasses everything. And that even that light of source that people connect to, that we see it as this big sun of light, and we like, let's connect to source, let's fill ourselves. I'm like, even that though, even source came from the void. Like it's inside the void, because she showed me that she is surrounding everything. And then she showed me source rising up from her womb, from her depths. I'm like, holy fucking shit, wait. Everything comes from the void. Nothing, there's no exceptions. Even source itself, even consciousness itself, it all comes from this very deep, beautiful, dark place of creation. And it's like, yet everyone is still connected to that masculine source grid, right? They're still fueling themselves from the light, everything is about the light. Well, what happens when you go beyond the light? When you go beyond the light, and this, okay, so this is what my mentor said to me. I said to her, I think I've gone beyond the light. I've gone to the straight up void of creation. And she mentioned something in the Bible, right? She's like, well, didn't it say, like, let there be light? Because before light, there was only darkness, and then the light came. Yes. So like the void is the most ancient place. That is where consciousness is the purest. That is where, when you work with the void and when you connect to the void and you invite the void into your body and you take yourself down to the void, that is where the wisdom is so ancient and deep, and the gifts are so ancient and deep, that you are just in this constant cycle of revelations, like revelation after revelation after revelation, like download after download, aha moment after aha moment. I have never grown so much in all of my life. I've never been so embodied, like just like the last 2 months, even the last month, just crazy wild miracles all around me. And like just the inner world completely dissolving to make space for this purity and this consciousness, and just connecting to this new grid of the great mother, of the dark consciousness, or the dark feminine, or the void, or whatever you want to call it, but connecting into that. I literally, like as a being, disconnected from one entire grid, hung out in void space, like completely alone and isolated, it felt like, and like melting within and dissolving everything. And then now reconnected to the new grid, which is actually the ancient grid and the purest grid of the dark feminine, of the void, of the great mother. And now my operating system is like starting to come back online from a new place, like a completely new system. Like, what the fuck is even gonna happen? Like, it is just so beautiful and so incredible and so magical and so magnetic and so miraculous, and oh my God. And like, this is it. Like this is the future. This is the new paradigm. Women are going to show people, like women that are the way showers and the women of power and the leaders, spiritually speaking, energetically speaking, like the leaders of heart space and psychic spaces and intuition, like they're going to be the ones that go first, and they're going to start to show people like it's safe for you to let this go now. This is a dying paradigm. This source light, this masculine energy, this was as divine as you could get in the system before, but now we've opened the doors, we've pulled back the curtains to something even more ancient and divine, something that goes beyond the judgment of good and bad and high and low and negative and positive. We're going beyond ascension. It's not about ascension. It's not about high frequency. It's not about the chart of like vibrations connecting to your emotions. All of that doesn't matter anymore. All of that doesn't matter anymore, because that was based on polarity and judgment and duality. And we're going forward into this place of like, it's not about good or bad. Everything that I feel is sacred. Every emotion that I could possibly have is sacred. Just being alive is a sacred mission. Like just embodying more and more and more of my soul and my soul consciousness. And I've been able to do that through dissolving everything else that was in the way, all of these false identities and false masks. And it was a lot to do with source and masculine energy and the patriarchy and push energy. And it was creating so much distortion and imbalance and taking up so much space. And it went alongside of all of that judgment. All of that judgment. You're constantly judging things as good or bad, like, and not honoring that everything is supposed to ebb and flow. Your emotions are supposed to ebb and flow. Your finances are supposed to ebb and flow. Your health is going to ebb and flow. Everything is meant to, just like the ocean, come in and go out and come in and go out. And this is where you, as an oversoul, as an ancient consciousness playing the character of being a human, this is where you become the mountain within. Like, you are the mountain, which is your stability, right? You take on the spirit of a mountain. This is the best way that I've seen it in my mind's eye. It's like I've become a mountain inside. And a mountain is silent, and it is still, and it is so powerful and magnetic, and it draws the eye, and people are so attracted to it. And at the core, it's always the same. And then its emotions, like if you think of your emotions, they would be like the seasons on the surface of the mountain. Sometimes the mountain is in spring and there's flowers blooming. Sometimes the mountain is in winter and there's snow around. Sometimes it's, in a windy season or a dry season. Like, all of the seasons are just the emotional surface level. But underneath, you're stepping into this deeper oversoul consciousness, right? Your human consciousness becomes the surface, but deep underneath that, the mountain of a soul that you are is the oversoul deep within, and it's unshakable. It's unshakable. This is the new grid. Like, the old grid of the masculine source light that we were all connecting to was so dualistic, so dependent on feeling good. You had to feel like you were in your power. You had to feel positive. You had to train your mind. You had to do all of these things in order to be successful or to be aligned, right? And then when you disconnect from all of that, you see all of the noise that it is, and you see that, like, you've always been in your power, and that underneath all of that noise, there is a mountain that you can connect to, that you can see its little eyes open, and you're like, whoa, it's so deep within me. That is my oversoul. That is a deeper consciousness than the human. That is a deeper stability that I can lean on than a human personality. And then I can enjoy the surface of the seasons on the outside of the mountain, the human. I can enjoy the human seasons and the ebbs and the flows of a lifetime on earth without judgment, without getting into fear, without spiraling because I'm not in my power, or spiraling because what the outward result doesn't match what you thought you needed or thought you wanted. You're just in this like flow and surrender and complete and radical acceptance. And radical acceptance cannot include judgment. So it's not about things being good or bad anymore. It's not about ascension versus descension, good versus bad, positivity versus negativity. Like, you understand that you're here to experience it all. And that right there, when you let go of judgment programming and you let go of the masculine duality and polarity, and you truly become the mountain within, that is the most stable and safe you will ever feel in this world, because it can't be shaken. Nothing can take it from you. It's not dependent on any kind of performance. You don't have to have a breakthrough. You don't have to be on the hamster wheel cycling through, doing the inner work or the shadow work. Like, all of that would just happen naturally. Like, you don't have to try anymore. It's like, it's hard to put into words, isn't it? It's like a steadiness to your frequency. And then, as my mentor would say, lead from frequency. Then you lead from there. You don't lead from emotions, which is the old feminine. You don't lead from logic, which is the old masculine. You lead from the mountain of the still presence within, which is kind of like a void space feeling within. This mountain feels kind of like a void inside of just stillness, presence, consciousness, divinity, sovereignty. That's what it fucking is. It's so big. The sovereignty fills up every crack, fills up every space within. You become it. You embody that sovereignty. And then everything else that felt so serious and so heavy and like, oh no, I've got this thing to stress about and I've got this problem. All of that just gets so quiet. And you just stand there in your sovereignty looking around at like each day as a miracle. And like every little moment of the day, just seeing like the divinity or the consciousness within everything at work, like all the little insects and the bugs in the sky and my plants and myself and looking in the mirror and like it's like whoa, like everything is just sharing one consciousness. And when you pull your consciousness away from those surface levels of old masculine and feminine and pull all the way back to the mountain within or the void within, and then you're operating from this much deeper place that is unshakable and can withstand any kind of storm, tsunami, whatever it's on the surface. Because you're living from such a deeper place within a void consciousness. And again, it's just this place where everything feels like a miracle and everything you just see behind everything. Like I'm not looking at the surfaces of things anymore. I'm seeing behind it. Like I'm having a lot of like insect, like grasshopper and spiders and caterpillars and moths. All of these beings are visiting me, but I know that they're playing a little character, but it's actually just the void consciousness visiting me and giving me like a beautiful message. But then everything became that, like literally everything, including myself, is just like on earth in particular is just is just consciousness playing, masking itself for fun and playing little roles and characters in this larger play to interact with itself and bring itself beautiful messages. And like as in this new state of consciousness, you can't help but see that. And so it's just like, to sum up, to sum up, I have never felt so powerful. I have never felt so embodied. I have never felt more like myself. I have never been more sure and clear about what I'm here to do and who I really am and what I'm going to create. I've never felt more magnetic. And anybody that is coming into my world and experiencing my presence is immediately feeling that, and then it's changing them. It's like my aura is now just turning people over into their own dissolving of identity and connecting to a deeper void consciousness within, or mountain of a soul within. Like it's like it's just, I feel now that my work is being done like effortlessly just by being in my presence, which sounds freaking crazy, but it's true. So now I'm thinking like absolutely live retreats are going to have to happen. I want to take my primordial queens from the Primordial Queen Mastermind onto live retreats and experience each other in person. And everything is just getting so good. And it's all just beginning. I feel like I'm at this fresh start again. And it's so exciting. And I just want that for you. And I just want that for you, Queen. I want that for you because you are literally a pillar of the new paradigm. And you're meant to go first. You're meant to be a way shower as well of this frequency. So come into my world. Come into my world and let me show you how powerful you really are. What a creator sovereign being you really are. And that this is all just play. And you get to get your little fingers in there and play and create and change things and be the architect of your reality from this space of depth beyond judgment, duality, and the highs and lows. That's surface now. Your peace is waiting. Your stability is waiting. Your sovereignty is calling you.